Okay, so just get yourself ready for your relaxation, restorative yoga practice. So have a blanket on top of your usual mat. If you've got one, have a bolster for underneath your knees, a couple of blocks for underneath your feet, and a folded blanket for underneath your head. So we're just preparing ourselves for our basic relaxation pose. If you've got one of these eye pillows, then that can be really helpful as well, just to give yourself a bit of darkness, which just helps you to relax. So have the bolster underneath your knees, the feet supported by the blocks, and then allow yourself to release down into the floor, just enjoying these first couple of moments of just laying down directly on the floor, just enjoying the feeling of support and release. So close your eyes if you haven't done, cover your eyes if you can, and just allow yourself to release into the floor. If you need to adjust for comfort, then do. Never feel like you're stuck in a position of discomfort. You should always feel comfortable in these poses. So just taking a little time at the beginning to ensure that you feel relaxed, comfortable, and able to release into the floor. Let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs, so that the body becomes heavy on the ground. Consciously soften your jaw and your tongue and your throat. Draw your attention into the soles of your feet, so that the skin of the underside of the foot begins to tingle with consciousness. Draw your attention into the soles of the feet and then consciously relax the soles of the feet. Dropping oil onto water, it spreads out. Let the underside of the foot completely relax, releasing the muscles and the flesh and the skin and the bones. Relaxing the underside of the foot. Draw your attention to the tops of your feet, to the skin and the muscle and the bone of the top of the foot. Draw your consciousness into the tops of the feet and then let the tops of the feet relax, observing how the top of the foot compositionally feels different to the bottom of the foot. At the bottom of the foot, there's a lot of muscle and flesh and skin to support and cushion the feet. On the top, there's very little. Just the skin and some muscle, but the constitution of the top of the foot is different to that of the bottom. Allow the tops of the feet to relax. Let the tops of the feet completely relax. Draw your attention to the shins. Draw your attention to the shins, to the skin of the shins, and allow the fronts of the shins to sink into the backs of the calf muscles. And consciously relax the fronts of the shins, letting them sink into the calves. Drawing your attention to the thighs, to the fronts of the thighs, and allowing the fronts of the thighs to sink into the ground. Drawing the fronts of the shins into the backs of the shins, letting the fronts of the shins completely relax. Feeling that the whole of the legs are supported by the bolster and the blocks. That the whole of the leg is relaxing into the floor. Draw your attention into the pelvis and the abdomen, allowing the muscles around the abdomen and the pelvis to completely relax, sinking into the floor. Soften the muscles around the abdomen and the pelvis and allow the back of the pelvis to sink into the ground. Drawing your attention into the chest and into the shoulders and the neck. Release the pelvis and the abdomen and draw your attention into the chest, to the muscles around the rib cage and around the shoulders and the neck, and consciously release all of your tension into the floor. Relaxing the muscles around the chest and the shoulders, drawing your attention into the arms, into the upper arms and the forearms and the hands, just letting the arms relax into the floor. Relax the upper arms and the forearms and let the hands rest into the floor. Relaxing the shoulders and the arms and the hands into the floor. And then become conscious of the neck, how it makes contact with the ground. Letting the arms relax into the floor, letting the neck muscles soften. Letting the shoulders soften, letting the neck soften. Soften the muscles around the neck and around the skull, especially around the forehead and the eye sockets, and around the nose and the mouth. Just allowing the muscles of the face to relax, the muscles of the inner ear to relax. Just allowing the body to completely relax into the ground. Just enjoying this feeling of total relaxation, where there's no demands on you other than to relax. Just luxuriating in this moment of energetic lightness and lack of demands on your physical body and time. Allowing the body to completely surrender into the floor. And when you're ready, just gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg. Come back up into the seated position, just cross legs. Just hold onto your knees. Just observe how your body feels after that initial relaxation pose. Whether your energy feels any different. So we're going to do a couple of supported butterfly poses. So get a couple of blocks, one on its side, one on its end, and then bring that, put your bolster on there just so you've got a little ramp. And then if you've got your blanket handy, then unfold it so you've got this kind of long quarter fold, and then fold that down the middle so you've got this long kind of narrow fold. And then you're just going to come down, so your seat bones are going to be not right up on top of the bolster, just maybe an inch away from the bolster. Then you're going to bring the blanket underneath your feet. No, that's the wrong way around. So on top of your feet, and then bring the ends of the blanket in between your legs. So you've got this little support. So the bolster, the blanket goes around the insoles of the feet, and then the ends of the blankets come into the body. And then you've got this little self-supporting support for your legs. Did that make sense? Yeah, okay. And then just guide yourself down. If your head feels like it rolls back, then you can always put just another cushion underneath your head. You don't want your head to roll back. And then just allow yourself to release into the pose. So this can be nice for a stiff back. It's really good for your energy, opening up the front of the chest, opening the energy of the front of the chest. Just have the hands, palms facing upwards, resting on the floor. Again, you can cover your eyes, or you can just keep them closed. So as you know, as we progress into the sequence, I'll speak less and less so that you can just relax without feeling that you need to listen. So I'll just give you a couple of pointers along the way. I'll tell you when to come in and out of the poses, but otherwise, just enjoy the relaxation of the practice alongside the opening action of the chest and the hips. Okay, when you're ready, just push your hands, and if you can reach your elbows into the floor, and then just bring yourself up into a seated position. Just release your legs, and then again just come into cross legs. Observe the energy you've released through each pose as we go. Okay, we're going to do the pose of the fish, the Matsyendrasana. So just unfold your blanket, and then just fold it up into your little kind of pillow shape, and then have that for your head if you need it. You'll need a second bolster, but if you don't have a second bolster, don't worry, you can just use some cushions. So you're going to keep the lifted bolster where it is, and then have another bolster or some cushions for underneath your knees. Or if you've only got blocks, you can just put blocks underneath your knees. So this is really nice for a stiff back, just to give you some real relief. So just until you feel like pose is comfortable. So lengthen the sacrum spine away from the lumbar a little, just to give you some space in the lower back. And then again, cover your eyes if need be. And then release into the pose. So, pose of the fish or Matsyendrasana. Just try and find your comfort, and then rest in that comfort. Just try to release any tension that you might be holding. Scanning the body for areas of tension and pushing your out breath into those regions to help you to release. yourself to become as still as you can. Just observe the feeling of release in your back and in the joints. Okay, gently push yourself up into a seated position. Just move the bolster from underneath your knees. Just come into cross legs, just holding onto your knees. Again, just observe the lightness of your energy. Okay, and then just turn around. We're going to do our child's pose. You can keep your pose, you can keep your ramp, your bolster in a ramp like this. You might want to just unfold the top blanket so it covers the whole thing. And then you lift the chest and then you just rest yourself down along the bolster. Now, if this doesn't feel supportive for you in the abdomen, then you can just put the bolster flat on the floor and maybe have the blocks just kind of flat on the floor underneath the bolster just to lift you up a little. But it's quite nice just to come down into this little ramp shape with a blanket on top, just to release into the pose. Let the shoulders relax. Have the elbows wide enough apart so that you're not supporting your weight with your arms. You're just letting the neck release. Have your head on one side. We'll swap that in a moment or two. Just allowing yourself to just completely relax into the pose. Just swap the side of your head so that you give your neck an even stretch. Just swap the side of your head again. Swap the position of your head one more time. And then push your hands into the floor just underneath your shoulders, and then sit back on your heels for a moment. Just observing your energy, observing how your energy has changed. Okay, and then we're going to finish in our restorative surfboard pose. So get your bolster along the floor, so just move the blocks from underneath the bolster. Have a cushion or a block for your head, just to support your head. And then if you've got a little mini bolster or a little couple of cushions or something, you can put those underneath your shins just to help you to relax your legs. So you're just going to come along the front of the bolster, and then your head just needs to be clear of the end of the bolster, and then have a block underneath your head. You might want to put your blanket on top of the block, just to give you some extra comfort for your head. So in terms of where the bolster kind of comes in relation to your pelvis and legs, it really depends on the length of your body, but make sure that you've got your chin clear of the end of the bolster. So just allow yourself to just get comfortable. Let your arms rest on the floor, just to the sides and above your head. Bending your elbows gently. Resting your forehead on the block. And then just allow yourself to release. And then focus on our back breathing technique. So the first inhale, so just a normal exhalation, and then an inhalation into the top of the shoulders, into the top of the back, into the center of the shoulder blade region, and out into the armpit region. And then release with a normal exhalation. And the second breath, breathe into the middle of the back and into the side ribs. And relax with a normal exhalation. And then the third breath, breathe down into the base of the spine and out into the hips. And then cycle around those 3 breaths. Top of the back, in the shoulder blade region and out into the armpits. And then the second breath is into the middle of the back and into the side ribs. The third breath is into the base of the spine and out into the hips, with normal exhalations in between each. And just cycling around those 3 breaths. Bringing the breath back to a normal rhythm. No longer concentrating on breathing into the back, just normal inhalations, normal exhalations. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And then just push yourself up. Just sit back on your heels for a moment. Just observe the energy that you have released. And then just sit yourself in cross legs onto your bolster. Feel that the seat bones are level. Hold onto your knees and lift the chest, elevating the heart area upwards. Draw your shoulders down, bring your hands into Namaste. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy that you have released through your relaxation practice this evening. A good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the relaxation poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger in contact with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence, and peacefulness that we can carry into the rest of our evening. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel like you've really lifted your energy, giving yourself some good positive energy to put into your evening. So thank you very much for joining me.